Good day. Here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has extended the franchise of the Manila Electric Railroad and Light Company or Meralco for another 25 years. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin confirmed that President Marcos signed Republic Act 12146, the law extending Meralco's franchise, on April 11. The measure ensures that the country's largest electricity distributor will continue providing power to Metro Manila and nearby provinces until 2053. Meralco's franchise was set to expire in 2028. Meralco Chair and CEO Manny Pangilinan thanked the President and Congress for extending its franchise. In a statement, Pangilinan said this is a recognition of Meralco's role in powering the country's economic growth. He said the franchise extension enables it to carry out long-term infrastructure projects and energy solutions to fuel national development. The measure also allows them to further modernize its distribution network, making it more resilient to climate-related disruptions, while introducing innovations that will improve efficiency and customer experience. Pangilinan reaffirmed Meralco's support for the government's nation-building agenda as it operates with transparency, regulatory compliance, and a strong sense of corporate social responsibility. The Department of Social Welfare and Development assures the public that it is ready to provide aid, especially to devotees and travelers during the observance of the Holy Week. The DSWD said that as directed by Secretary Rex Gatchalian, all its disaster management and response teams from the central office and field offices will be on standby to help in any incident. Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao of the DSWD's Disaster Response Management Group said they are also closely working with Weather Bureau Pagasa and other concerned agencies to monitor weather conditions that may affect the country in the coming days. Dumlao reminded the public to stay safe, remain vigilant, and heighten awareness to avoid untoward incidents and emergencies as they spend the Holy Week. Meanwhile, the Department of the Interior and Local Government has instructed the Philippine National Police, Bureau of Fire Protection, and local government units to implement appropriate measures to ensure public safety throughout Holy Week. The DILG also ordered all local chief executives to create contingency plans in line with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s call to uphold public safety. Among the expected concerns to be addressed are public transportation, emergency medical services, crime prevention in public areas such as churches and terminals, and waste cleanup and disposal. The Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange says it is ready to accommodate more trips to the Bicol region this Holy Wednesday. PITX Senior Corporate Affairs Officer Colleen Calbasa said they have 20 additional trips to Bicol as well as 40 to 50 special permits for buses. PITX acknowledged that the bus trips bound for Bicol were the first to get sold out even before the Holy Week, particularly tickets for air-conditioned buses and buses with restrooms. Calbasa, meanwhile, assured travelers that PITX buses underwent a roadworthiness check and drivers were fit to work. The passenger count was expected to peak today as employees get off work and start their holiday. In the city of Manila, provincial bus terminals announced they have opened additional trips for those traveling northbound this Holy Week. Additional buses have been allocated for trips to Zambales, Olongapo, Baguio, Ilocos, Isabela, Cagayan, and other parts of northern Luzon. This is particularly to accommodate chance passengers. Bus terminal operators assured that ticket sales and trips will continue smoothly in the coming days. A magnitude 5.8 earthquake hit Sarangani province at 5:42 a.m. Wednesday. According to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, the epicenter of the tectonic quake was 43 kilometers southwest of Maitum with a depth of focus of 10 kilometers. Intensity 4 was felt in several areas of Kiamba, Sarangani, including Tiboli, Banga, Surala, and Tupi in South Cotabato, Calamansig in Sultan Kudarat. Intensity 3 was felt in Maitum, Glan, Alabel in Sarangani, City of General Santos, Norala, City of Coronadal, Lake Cebu, Santo Niño in South Cotabato, and Columbio, Isulan, Esperanza in Sultan Kudarat. Intensity 2 was felt in Maasim, Sarangani, Bagumbayan, President Quirino, Sultan Kudarat. Intensity 1 was felt in Kalilangan, Bukidnon, Kidapawan City, and Lang in Cotabato, Magsaysay, Davao City, and Matanao and Davao del Sur, and Kapatagan in Lanao del Norte. VIVOX warned that aftershocks and possible damage are expected. In our business news, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has signed into law Republic Act 12145, or the DEPDev, or Department of Economy, Planning and Development Act. The measure aims to reform the National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, into a full-fledged cabinet-level department. Senate Economic Committee Chair Juan Miguel Zubiri said the move is a historic reform and a national victory. Zubiri stressed that the new department will have the necessary tools, authority, and funding it needs to contribute to economic progress. DEPDev will also take the lead in unifying development initiatives across various sectors to address persistent challenges like regional disparities, job creation, and the development of infrastructure. Meanwhile, the National Economic and Development Authority welcomed the increase in personal remittances from overseas Filipinos in February 2025. OFW remittances increased by 2.6% to $3.02 billion from $3.95 billion in February 2024. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas reported on Tuesday that the total remittances reached $6.27 billion from January to February 2025, marking a 2.7% increase from the $6.10 billion posted during the same period in 2024. NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan said the increase in remittances in February 2025, which follows the 2.9% growth in January, reflects not only the resilience and flexibility of overseas Filipinos, but also their deep sense of responsibility, adaptability, and enduring commitment to support their families. BSP noted that the increase of remittances was driven by contributions from land-based and sea-based overseas Filipino workers. Meanwhile, cash remittances on a year-to-date basis grew by 2.8%, reaching $5.63 billion from January to February 2025, from $5.48 billion during the same period in 2024. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the PNA Headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The PNA Headlines is also streamed via the Serbisyo Facebook page. You may also watch the PNA Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I'm Wilnard Basilonia. This is the PNA Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.